What temperatures have we got?
2.6.
2.6 and 3 underground.
Yeah.
This morning is a little bit special. We're here at the Dublin Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, who are about to have a stepping stone for us. But let's have John Coybett explain it to us.
Okay, well, maybe it's the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, but we're going to inflict some pain on humans here now today. We're going to get them to lay down the cardboard. I don't know if you can see it in the background there. They're stripping the cardboard of plastic. Then we're going to cover that with mulch. And we may risk planting a few trees today, but the temperatures are really, really cold. So there is a danger that if you plant them in conditions like this, they'll die.
But this is a bit special, John, because we have a new sponsor and a new kind of facility.
Yeah, absolutely. Normally we do these forests and schools. But this is the first time we've done something on a facility like this. We've done a golf club, we've done a community centre, but this is really a bit special. We're on 32 acres of campus for the DSPCA. We've got fantastic views behind me of Dublin Bay, and we're going to orientate this forest. We're going to create it in a classroom style, and there'll be seating in here where I'm standing right now, and people will be able to picnic with views over Dublin Mountains, totally surrounded by the stepping stone forest. The new sponsor that we have on board is John Paul Construction, and they came to us through Business in the Community Ireland, and we're hoping if this goes well, we might be building a long-term relationship with them.
Now folks, this time from the DSPCA, I'm with Suzanne, who's going to introduce herself and tell us what she does here.
So I'm Suzanne McGovern, I'm Director of Operations at the DSPCA. So we're delighted to have the team from John Paul Construction here today planting trees. It's a big part of our own sustainability and the stuff that we do on site here in our day-to-day operations. So tree planting initiatives like this is wonderful for us to be part of. We have a lovely facility here that we have the space that allows companies and organisations to do that. So we're very excited. We've got the perfect morning for it. So that's what it's all about. Folks, you're all very welcome. My name is Suzanne McGovern. I'm Director of Operations at the DSPCA, and this is my colleague Becky and her wonderful Sammy, who's about to chew her jacket off. Just very briefly, just about the charity and the organisation, and hopefully you'll have time to be able to go up and actually see the operation up above. So we're split up into quite a number of different buildings. Over here you'll see the commercial entity of the DSPCA, which are the pet hotel, the cat hotel, doggy daycare and dog training team. They operate from the buildings up here. We have village vets who are here, they operate from this building, and then the main shelter of the DSPCA is up across the avenue. So as a charity, we have been in existence since 1840, so there's a rich history there in heritage. The charity originally was set up in Craigmelty in the city centre. And back then, our inspectors would go around with tricycles and baskets on the front, collecting stray dogs off the street. So we're here now, this is where we reside. We've 32 acres up here. We exist uniquely to rescue, rehabilitate and home sick, injured and cruelly treated animals. We do that every single day of the week. Our inspectors will be dispatched all over the city throughout the day, responding to calls of cruelty, neglect, abandoned animals. We take in all animals, not just domestic, we take in wildlife as well. So every day is different here. We are enhanced and supported by all of our volunteers, our foster families and network. We rescue probably about over 3,000 animals every year. A lot of that will be cats and dogs and horses. So we see unimaginable kind of cases of cruelty and things that people will unfortunately inflict upon animals. So it's our job to try and influence as well government and legislation to try and improve the laws around animal welfare. As a charity, there's other things that we do day to day on site, our day-to-day operations, which is lovely initiatives like this, our tree planting, which we've done quite a lot of down here. The far section, we have a lovely perimeter walk that's open to the public, and people can bring up and do their dogs. So we have our wetlands that are down in the main shelter area as well. We've worked with a host of different companies that will support us through volunteer days and CSR activities. So we're delighted to have you all here. Hopefully we will engage again in some shape or form. Becky looks after our corporate partnerships, our corporate volunteer days. So you can come up, you can volunteer, you can walk the dogs, spend time with the animals, help out on any projects that we're working on. We always need the help. And we are not solely funded by the government. We have a huge fundraising target which we have to achieve every single year. And we do that in a number of ways through our own fundraising activities, events, but donations from individuals, people, corporates, companies, all of that is how we exist and how we do what we do. So listen, I hope you're going to enjoy this morning. You've got the perfect day as far as I'm concerned. I know the ground may not be perfect for us, but we'll work around it. And again, enjoy it. We'll be bringing some animals up throughout the morning just to say hello.
Is anyone looking for a dog?
Yes.
Does anyone want to adopt a dog? We've loads here. I'll bring them up and you'll all fall in love.
Yeah. If there is anybody outside of today that does want to foster or volunteer or adopt a pet, definitely talk to us after this, okay?
You can have a goat either. Or,
We have goats.
We've 2 piglets up for adoption.
There's 2 piglets. We got 6 puppies in yesterday. They're German Shepherd cross puppies. They'll be looking for homes.
I'll bring some of them up.
We have lots of adult dogs, cat kittens. So, yeah. That's
Enjoy.
it. Guys, enjoy it and thank you so much, okay?
Thanks very much. Could I just call on Mike McLaughlin, the Director for Sustainability, just to say a couple of words before the Mayor gets here?
Thanks, John. Yeah, thanks a million. I won't delay you too long now either. Just first, just to thank everyone for coming. Great stuff. I suppose just to set the scene of how it came about a little bit. We had, I suppose, a small initiative in the company where everyone in the company got donated a tree, a native Irish tree, and obviously we knew from the start that it wasn't going to suit everybody, you know, depending on where we're living and whatnot. So it was always the plan that whoever, you know, if you didn't want the tree, it was donated and it would be planted, and we wanted to plant it somewhere, I suppose, local or somewhere kind of, you know, that would be suitable, I suppose. So that got us then in contact with John and the great work they're doing with the mini forest, with Stepping Stone Forest. And I suppose this initiative here today that is, and it's kind of grown. It's not just our trees, we're planting more than that today, but this is only really just a kind of a toe in the water. We want to partner with John going forward and do a lot more of this. We're planning this year to hopefully plant maybe 5,000 trees, and you know, depending on location. But so then it was kind of then you put us in contact with the DSPCA, which is great as well. And so there's a few elements to it. There's also, you know, our own people volunteering. You know, we have a good tradition in the company of people getting behind initiatives and helping out, and whatever we do from a charity point of view, we always get great support. But this in particular is an opportunity for people to come and volunteer, give their time, and get involved. So we're kind of trying to promote more of that as well. So, and you have the opportunity here of this facility of maybe longer term partnership and volunteering as well. And I know like obviously the DSPCA, we all know, does fantastic work. I saw it firsthand here. We got our own dog here 5 years ago and was up and down a number of times, and fantastic facility and great follow on and all the rest, and we've had a great time over the last 5 years.
Does he know he's going to get a second dog today?
Well, the young lad's looking, he's pushing hard for that all the time. But so I suppose there's where it started. What we're doing today is brilliant. It's probably the start of a partnership and maybe 2 partnerships. That's it. So that's all really I have to say. I just want to thank everyone that volunteered. We had no problem getting a crew of people for today, and we'll do a lot more of it, you know. So that's all, John, and thanks everyone. Thanks. Sorry, one last thing is thanks to Aidan, because Aidan has put a huge amount of work. Very well, Aidan, putting this all together and organising it, and maybe panicking a bit about the weather and organising soup and sandwiches.
Yeah, he's done all that. And guys, if anyone needs to use the bathroom, okay, the prefab behind the vet clinic here, there's a toilet in there. There's tea and coffee. The coffee shop, which is the log cabin just at the top of the path, serves tea and coffee as well, and they will be providing lunch for everybody, which will be in the cabin up here. So we'll come down before you're going to take that break, and just make sure you're all set up there. Okay, enjoy, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a few references to John, but I'm part of a group called Daughter Action. A lot of us have our blue vests on. It's one of the most wonderful environmental groups I've ever come across. All volunteers. None of us get paid. We do this because we're concerned, we're interested in the environment and helping the environment. And just for context for today, what we're doing here today is really important. We won't do it today because of just the weather conditions. But ultimately, there will be over 700 trees planted here, and they're all going to be native trees that are native to Ireland. We have this guy here. I thought they were all silver birch, but he looks like downy birch, but I don't know my ash from my elbow. So, this is a native tree, and it will suck in carbon dioxide. It'll combine that with the sunshine in photosynthesis. I'm breaking these teeth in for a donkey down there. And it will store the carbon here. That wood there, that's carbon. So that's being sequestered, and it releases back out the oxygen. That's why it's so important. So we need to be. Ireland, as a country, has a very, very poor tree coverage. Less than 11%, and less than 2% of that is native. So it's really we're in a really, really bad situation. We're one of the lowest in Europe. So it's native Irish trees because our wildlife has grown up with these trees over millennia. Since the last ice age, which seems to be still with us now that I think about it, but 10,000 years, if you plant non-native trees, the species, the wildlife doesn't know how to deal with it. It can't feed off it, it can't lay its eggs on it, or whatever the case may be. So native is really important. So today we're now going to go into February for the planting. We're going to plant over 20, maybe 25 species, different species, and that caters really well for the diversity of wildlife that there is in the area. Now what we're doing today is it's a planting method based upon a Japanese botanist called Akira Miyawaki. We're not the only ones in Ireland that are doing it, and it's being done. It's kind of a global revolution going on at the moment. If you just search for it, you'd find proof all over the world using this method, and it's a highly unusual method. We don't do it exactly the way Miyawaki used to suggest. We don't dig the soil. We do the prep by putting down cardboard, which helps to strip the plastic off, and then we'll cover it with wood chip mulch. What we would normally do is leave that for about 6 months and then come back and plant into that. And one of the keys to the Miyawaki method is that you plant really, really densely. So we'd be planting 3 per square metre, which is highly unusual. Your average forester would say that's bonkers. We've been doing it for about 2 years now, and our oldest forest is just over 2 years. And the trees there some of them are 15 feet tall. It's a dense, lush little forest. You can't get into it. So the method works, and it creates a mature forest very rapidly. So that's effectively what we're going to do. So the high-tech buckets here that you can see, this space is going to be left clear. So it'll be kind of picnic area. People will have views of Dublin Bay. So where we're going to put the cardboard down is from here to the outer ring of pegs. Okay? But we're not sure whether we have enough cardboard or not. But for the moment, we want to do a slight overlap. Don't leave gaps if you can avoid it, because we don't want the grass getting through. Because that cardboard will suppress any competition from weeds and grass, although I shouldn't say weeds, from other plants. And it gives the trees a good start. So we put the cardboard down, then we'll go with the mulch, put that down, we rake it over, and we're going to plant some trees, but the conditions aren't great. We'll be taking a chance by planting them today, but we are going to, maybe everybody could plant one tree perhaps, just to say that you did it. And then we'll come back in February and we'll plant the rest, and the rest of the trees aren't here because we said we'll leave them in storage for the moment. Okay. Anybody have any questions? No. Okay. The mayor was due to arrive, but he's running a bit late. When he comes, maybe we could all just reassemble for a group photograph. Okay. All right. Okay.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Oh yes. Sorry.
So you told me.
Yes, I indeed. Sorry.
You don't swing it when you forget started. It's a real quickie. You're all wearing good solid footwear, I hope. Please all wear gloves. If you haven't got gloves, come to me. I have some bags of gloves. If you get cuts, come to anybody with a blue dot of action high vis on, and we have kit. We'll look after you, okay? Can you please be careful about how much you lift? Don't think it's very much or to carry 3 loaded buckets at a time. You'll just damage your backs. When you're shuffling, remember to bend your knees. We're doing this all the time. Again, you'll go home with very small backs. And the last thing is, I know it's a silly one, be careful with the rakes. The easiest thing is to leave a rake, prong sticking up, and somebody walks into it and hits the head, or it goes through your feet. Okay? Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now folks, we're still here at the DSPCA, and as you can see I still have Suzanne with me, but the Mayor has joined Suzanne. Alan, I'd like you to say a few words about this particular facility and your association with it.
Well, the DSPCA, I think everyone knows, is a fantastic service. It really is. We're very, very lucky to have it here in South Dublin, and I'm even luckier that it's in my electoral area as well. So it's lovely to be here. I've been here before, and I have the cat to prove it. My Fraser, who was the loveliest fella, and he is a rescue from the SPCA, and it's great to support the great work that they're doing, not just for the animals, but also now in terms of tackling climate change and hosting a stepping stones forest here. So really is it's lovely to be here, and it's lovely to support everyone, and I'm going to have a look around now. It's a hard
And
job.
is it true? I've heard a rumour that the Mayor may be going home with a new cat.
With a new cat? Well, we'll see.
I'm working on that.
We'll have to have a discussion with the existing cats, but it is always a possibility, Mike. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Suzanne, Alan, thank you both very much.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Happy birthday, Richard. Happy birthday, dear Richard.
Well done, keep up the good work, stepping stones for us, legends.
Thanks for watching Wildlife Wednesday, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. For now, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.